All right, all right. What a few days, eh? Jeez. Welcome, y'all. We'll let everyone get in. We'll start talking turkey. Welcome, Chairman. How are you? Get some links out. Get some links out. Get the people there. It is coming in now. We got a request already. Throwing shapes. Hello. Thanks for the help with the Telegram. I mean, what a nightmare that is. The amount of scammers coming in. It's just bonkers. Holy crap. Just unbelievable. Oh, go ahead.
Might be engaging our second donation here during the spaces. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't believe it. I figured, oh, dub two, that'll take a couple weeks maybe, but nope, here we are. Wild. Got more people coming in. Then we'll get I guess we are kind of started. But we'll get started. Well, we'll get it going. I've got this recorded anyways. So, a lot of familiar faces here for sure, which is awesome. Um, so the way I want to run it is like obviously most people here are aware of what we're doing and what we did and what we will do. Um, but I thought it was important to kind of get together as a community outside of the noise of Telegram and talk about, I'd love to hear people's ideas. I'd love to answer questions about it. I mean, this is all coming at me a mile a minute. This has been unbelievable, um, in the best way. So I figured we'd just get out here and just chat it up. So, if anyone would like to speak, just put in your request there and I'll grant it. And if you troll me, I'm going to have um, the news crew follow you to your home and record your web browser history. Okay. Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti, hello. Welcome to Seat Zone.
Seed zone.
Thank you. Irv Gotti, go ahead, press that unmute button. There he is.
Hey, just real quick, I won't take too much time. I'm working and whatnot, trying to stay as active in the chat as possible today. Just what an amazing day! Everything's is just looking amazing. Glad to see the donation go through. Just keep up the good work, everybody. Keep working, keep fighting. Keep sharing. You know, Everyone just stick together and we'll get this done. And glad to see where this is going to be in the next few weeks and months to come. And but I did have one question. When is the next donation? What milestone is that? Is that 2 million market cap, or is that
Dub
further
two.
down the line?
Yeah, Dub two, and then or 2 million market cap, and then after that it'll be 4 million,
Okay, yeah, you'll
and then
spread it out a
after
little bit more.
that 8, 16, and ba 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 ba. Because I mean we don't want to get like fatigued where to the point where people are like, yo, I just donated yesterday. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, exactly.
The doubles will do it. But I think the reason that the first two are close together obviously is like the math. We're doing math, but the other reason is that I think a lot of people were holding off and waiting to see if I would just run away with the money or actually do it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
I
I
get
said in the
that. Yeah.
chat like it was 8 grand, and for me to ruin my life over a used Honda Civic,
Right?
just
Yeah.
no. I'm
And you know what? You can't even
yeah.
get a used Honda Civic for that price these days. You know?
A used Suzuki Swift.
There you go.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, awesome, Chris. We're glad to have you here, our leader, and let's keep it up. Everybody just hold, and if you can buy more, and we got this, keep up the great work.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and thanks for trusting me with this one because I mean we're just flying in the unknown right now, man.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you later. So nice chat there. There we go. Thank you, Mike. No, it was really encouraging, and it was tough to put together first. Please get your hands up if you want to talk about seat, have a seat. You know, any ideas or questions about the project or where we go from here? I'd love to answer them. It was a tough few days getting to the point where we could deal with the charities and stuff. And I was shocked at the amount of charities that did not bother to call back. They didn't take it seriously at all. And I was pretty disappointed in that. And maybe it's just because, they get government grants or whatever it is, but thank God those guys at Operation Underground Railroad, the guy called back, it was their director, and he said, I don't know if I should take this call because, like, are you going to ask me to like buy in? A lot of crypto people have asked me to buy in to their crypto coin and that the returns will pay for the, and I was like, no, bro. Okay, we're this you just receive the crypto. And he said that the majority of calls that he's gotten have been, like, you buy into my coin at the same time and then we'll run it together or whatever. So just like, I mean, which is it's just so ridiculous to me, like pumping to charities. Damn, unbelievable. So, once I explained it to him, and thank goodness he took the call, then it was on. And I said, we can, thanks for believing in us. And then the pressure was on because I was like, yo, okay, you got the money, but you don't understand, like the money just disappeared from this wallet, right? But they don't know where it went. So like we're going to need you to jump on that in terms of like mentioning it, because like for me every second it was like it was like the movie Speed. You know what I mean? Like it was so ridiculous. And I was texting him like, please, can you get this tweet out? I'm gonna get hung here. And finally he did, which was awesome. So we're getting it moving, and I'm looking forward to doing it again and again and again. But man, that hour after we donated, I was just like, it's like an episode of 24. Jeez Louise. How old am I? These are my references? Good God. Please get your hand up. I got time. I'd love to answer some questions. Right? You want some more youthful references? I got them. You heard of this Matrix or seen this one? Yeah. it's kind of a movie that's hot. I'm gonna start inviting if I don't see some requests put in. There we go. We got a couple coming up. Clarence, unmute your mic and go ahead.
What's going on, Chris?
How you doing, man?
Great. I think I would speak for everyone in here to say that much appreciated, man. I think you're a breath of fresh air in this space. I think it's so crazy, like the Wild West out here, that like when you have the narrative, right? Like I still think to have something so funny and serious at the same time, there's nothing like it. And to have a dev or someone that's this engaged is everything, man. And I think people are looking for it and so transparent. So cheers to you and your team. It's been phenomenal. And then the social good component of it as a whole nother layer. And then the other thing that makes these things successful, at least from my vantage point, has been a group of lunatic degenerates that that hold and they become unstoppable. The one thing I wanted to bring up about the community too is that everyone comes from different backgrounds and they have different skill sets, and it sounds like you're open to ideas, obviously, and collaboration. And wanted to throw this out there to everybody that like there's probably people on this call that like have a graphic design background or like are really good at making memes. I'm a little too old for that game. But someone here might feel that, oh, what can I contribute besides rating and things, like your ideas. So like I think that idea sharing, even if you can't create something, well, maybe someone on the call can. So and I don't really think any idea is really, for the most part, a bad idea. And I never really care where an idea comes from. If it's a good one, I think everyone would agree that we run with it. But you also have, people on the call with high amount of X followers, right? So if we're going to raid tweets from community members, maybe we go that route, and even developing best practices for rating and best practices in other departments. I do have a couple ideas, and I don't know if it's the time for it now. I'd mentioned
This
them.
is the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that I had brought up a couple days ago, I forget how much, but was the idea of like, because this is so hysterical, and like the one group of people that loves like dark, inappropriate, like things from the past kind of thing, is comedians. Like they all have these dark checkered pasts, and that's why they're getting up on stage, because they're making light of it, and that's the way they get it out. So like, if I don't know the approach, but like getting a comedian on board, someone suggested Theo Vaughn, which I thought was gold. Like if there's a way for us to get one of them on board, I think that's and not to buy it, like not to have a partnership, but just to literally just be like, this is funny as shit and it's cool, and just to talk about it. So I think some ideas generated to see if we could do something like that would be good. I love the idea of other meme coins that are sus, right? And we're approaching their market caps and calling it like they're in the hot seat, and we're pushing that. And then when we pass them, they're seated. And then we have another one.
Yeah.
We have another one in the hot seat. You know what I mean? On deck. I think that's hysterical. And if it aligns with memes that are actually, have kind of shady kind of past when it comes to that kind of stuff, it would be even funnier. And I think people would cling on to that, like in those communities. And then and the part of that I love, by the way, is that like if people are like, oh, you're they can't talk shit on us. Like no one can talk shit on a coin that is against child predators, like, which is like a beautiful thing. So like in the social sphere, like the optics of someone coming in and trying to shit on us, we could just calmly eviscerate them, like with a line, so there's that angle that like we have with when it comes to like kind of like bringing other memes into play there. And then the last thing I was going to say, yeah, come across a lot of these things, man. And from my vantage point, there's only one thing that could stop this, which would be a wild turn of events where we find out that you, Chris, are in fact the child predator. That would be a real dagger to the heart. So as long as that's not the
You know
case,
what? I got you, man. I promise you that there is no pre- predatoring or hunting going on of any sort. In
yeah.
fact, my wife and I already have children already. So that part of my life is over, like as far as intimacy or anything like that. Like we achieved our goal. So
You
yeah,
did
you
it.
don't have to worry on that front.
Well, then it's David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust from here, my friend. Love
Yes,
it.
sir. Yeah, you're not going to run into that one because, like I said, mission accomplished. Got two little bundles of joy, and now I'm just a monk trading meme coins. You
I'm
know
in
what
the
I mean?
same spot, man. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on this project. Um, I'm behind it. I support you, man. I think you're doing a fantastic job, you and your team, whoever you got working with you on it. And yeah, man, I'm here for the ride. So I've taken up enough time already, but appreciate you giving me the time.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much, and we'll have the replay and can start enacting some ideas. But I love boom seated with some of these like that.
It's
So
great.
good.
It is. All
All
right.
right, see ya. All right, all right. Colin, we're gonna have you go ahead, and then we got Chert McGurd.
Sounds good. Yeah, Clarence, that idea is so fucking good, man. Telling people to have a seat as we pass them on the market caps. I mean, that is just such a great way, I think, to just bring awareness. I just love that creativity. I also wanted to say, I know that Chris probably wouldn't say this, maybe he would, but there is no team, in my opinion. It's just Chris. I mean, he's been doing all the work. Early on, he had to fund a lot of this stuff from his own wallet. Um, you know, we have this marketing wallet, we have the donations, of course, and all of that is community funded, and everyone's doing such an amazing job with that. But we have a couple admins, and we try to clean up the filth, from the spammers in the chat. But besides that, man, I mean, Chris is doing all this shit, and just to speak to Chris, I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about this a little bit for anyone new who may not know. But it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. A few days ago, we had a big scare where some asshole sold a bunch of shares and made a big mistake and lost out on a lot of potential money. But Chris had to act fast, really fast, in order to prevent this from just looking like another rug pull, like every other pump.fun thing you see on this market. And so, I wanted to, Chris, I don't know if you want to talk about that for anyone new who may not know, but I just thought that was such a cool moment of leadership for you to step in. And I love what you've done also with the giveaway, just burning that shit. No giveaway terrorists here. So kudos.
Yeah, for sure. So what happened? This would have been on the, and then Chert McGurd, you're welcome to go ahead when we're done here. This would have been on the, what was it, the 14th. Someone that held up because we did a fair launch here, you know what I mean, and we did it on Pump.Fun, and it got funded, and then it seemed to be going well, and then a person unloaded. I think I forget what the amount of tokens was, but it was like $6,000 worth. So you can do the math. Right into just sold it right off. Pulled us down from 500K to 200K, and I had all these tokens set up for giveaways and burning events and everything like that. But when you see a dump like that, everyone was like, "Oh well, no, here we go, just another rug." And I was like, "Oh my god, like what am I going to do?" And so I think that day I gave away, I don't know, like 6 or 7 million to people just to explain to them, like, I'm not doing that. Like, please take these, and here I'm going to burn some, and here I'm going to do that. Like, and it was so bonkers. And thank God it worked. But yeah, that was a really strange day and an awful day for me because I'd already put in so many sleepless nights. And so I'm so glad that the community saw my genuineness with it because I couldn't believe it that like given an opportunity like this and I gotta believe that it was just someone who maybe didn't know any better, like I have to, or else I'm gonna lose my mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, it turned into a really positive thing because I think people saw my true colors there, and the true colors of the community, and it's not just Chris. I mean, we have a lot of people that have known me for a very long time who've been funding marketing, helping out as admins in the chat. I mean, these are people that have I mean, what we've been in each other's lives for almost a decade now, which is crazy. So it's not just like it's just me, saying stuff, but it is really not just me. So that's that. Um, Thank you, Colin. Chert McGurd, go ahead.
Hey Chris, how's it going?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I just want to, clear some things up and kind of apologize for some of the show I put on, earlier. But moving past that, I just want the whole thing that I really wanted to see was just, some momentum, some traction going, and it looks like we have some of that, and that's pretty good. I want to back up what Clarence was saying about getting the influencers and comedians on board. I think that's a really good idea as well. Not to have, I was just talking to Taylor about it earlier, not to get them to like buy it or anything. We don't want to cause any uproar or any, like you said in the first space, any premature, momentum or anything like that. But we need their influence, their their projections. So like I think I was looking around, like I'm still brand new to all of these meme coins and stuff, this isn't really my territory, so I kind of realized that and I kind of backed off a bit. But I just lost that thought. I think the Chris Henson seat coin is really funny, alongside with the charity that we're donating to. Like we have a very good cause for raising awareness and raising funds and stuff like that. That not I don't think any other coin on the market can say the same thing. So we kind of really stand out with that idea, and that's kind of why I'm like pulling through on this. And I really believe this could be the really next best thing on the market. As soon as it gets better ears, better eyes on it, it hits the right attention, and next thing you know, overnight, it changes our lives.
Well, absolutely, and I appreciate the apology, and absolutely do accept. I mean, it's always tough to swoop in and do something like that, but for me, like the wellness of the community and the wellness of the coin, and most of all, more than anything, like people's ability to like feel comfortable to come up and say, hey, what's this or what's happening, like I love to keep it like a space where people feel like I have their back, and they're welcome to, if they say something, even if it's not the perfect thing, that I'm going to have their back. You know what I mean? And so, I do accept the apology, and if you can keep it clean and focused, we'd love to have you back.
Most definitely. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll get that sorted after the spaces.
Appreciate it.
All right. Nars, please go ahead.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing?
Good, good. Just want to thank you for everything you're doing. And I just want to echo something I think Clarence said, that this is such a breath of fresh air in crypto, especially on the Solana chain where everything's a pump and dump. My dog Bitcoin's not doing so well right now, so this is nice to see. I appreciate it. And Colin, I wouldn't sell yourself short, man. Like I see you and a lot of other people in this space currently making the most amount of noise on Twitter and other social media sites, and you guys are active in the Telegram and keeping it clean. So kudos to Chris, kudos to you, Colin, kudos to everyone else that's making all the noise in social media. Just one comment about approaching influencers and stuff. Usually when one of these big influencers posts about a coin, this thing just pumps and dumps, right? So I would be careful about that. And I'm wondering, Chris, if you've made a decision, whether you're going to approach someone with a huge following or if you want to continue growing this organically.
You know, my because I've been at this somewhere else in a different market, and there is a difference between organic volume and cheap volume. And and cheap volume from a alert to a chat room, alert to a large following and stuff, like it pays quickly if you're quick on the trigger. But what it also does is sometimes the race to the bottom can break a chart. And so you know so that's one point. The second point with regard to influencers is, I've been out there, and it's not like I'm an unknown guy privately. I've been out there and saying, hey, I've got this interesting thing. Would you at least take a look at it? 90%, and this is no exaggeration, 90% of the big accounts in this Solana space never responded. Of the ones that responded, most of them requested 5% of the supply and a bare minimum 2 grand. In spite of the fact that, we're doing it for a charity and stuff like that. And I can understand they're wanting to have some skin in the game, but that's a lot of skin. And so for me to chase cheap ass volume that rugs a chart, when people, because what happens is when cheap volume occurs, it rips up, and then when they alert a new thing, it becomes a race to the bottom, because they didn't find it on their own, and they don't care for it, and they don't feel any connection to it at all. You know what I mean? So like, I hear people saying influencers. They were telling me influencers at what, 50K. They were telling me influencers at 500K. Now we're here at 2 mil. And I got to say, at this point, we're getting to a point where if someone would like to do some influencing on it, they can approach us, because this is a really good thing. And so I'm open to influencers, but I'm not coming at it from a low place. You know what I mean? And that's the difference, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a good route to take. Yeah, another thing is it's unrelated, but I posted about it on the Telegram before that the majority of crypto users and holders are male, right? And the majority of human trafficking victims are female, and there are more women in this world than there are men. So, do you or anyone in the space have any idea of how to tap into this currently uninterested demographic? Because as it stands, all the promotion that everyone's doing, right? It's on a post or something that has hashtag meme coin, right? So everyone, these are people that are already in this space, right? Can you think of a way, or does anyone else have any ideas of how we can tap into non-crypto demographics?
Well, I'll give my first take. It is like the way to like, when you're talking about influencers, like, it's got to be non-traditional influencers, I think. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be, like, I've had some preliminary conversations with a couple of people who are not in the space. And I think that that's maybe the way to go as far as reaching women. You know, I'll take what we can get right now, and would absolutely be open to some ideas. What I'm not trying to do is do a lot of ad spend in places where women are that may never even get looked at. You know what I mean? So it would have to be something pretty creative. Um, you know what I mean? So, but I hear you on that. That is a largely untapped audience. But the barrier, and maybe we try and tackle that once we get listed on some bigger things like Coin Market Cap and all those different places, once that happens, maybe then it would be less steps to entry, as where right now, you get a person who's not interested in crypto anyways, and they've got to go through the process of getting it right now. Maybe it's a bit early to be trying to chase that volume, but certainly down the line, I'd be open to ideas.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's all I got. Thanks again for everything you're doing, and I can assure you I'll be in my seat for this entire ride.
Yeah, sit down. I really do appreciate it though, and I've enjoyed this so much. It's rejuvenated me in a way that I couldn't even imagine. So thank you so much. Irv Gotti's back. Irv Gotti,
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
go ahead, round 2. Excellent. Thank you, Irv Gotti. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay. It's a good one. I appreciate that. Aaron Slompo. Slompo? Let's find out. Welcome, Aaron. Irv Gotti presented us the sounds of the road. Aaron, go ahead. I think I've received a bit of a transmission. Aaron.
Uh,
Oh boy.
can you hear me?
My goodness. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna. I don't have a lot of time. I was just coming in and out just to say appreciate this community, how everyone's holding. So hats off to you guys. I'm gonna go though. I was just
So
stopping.
thanks for telling me to have a seat. You definitely caught me with the left hook there, and thanks for being a part of the community. See ya.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Clarence has returned.
Hello.
Hello. Have a seat. Again.
All right. You brought up a good point that I just wanted to kind of put out in the air. And I had mentioned something about, like, I'm not going to repeat exactly what I said, but about reaching out to some place. And you brought up a really good point that, hey, we got to be careful, who to contact. And that brings up a good point about meme creation, people going out thinking they're doing good, trying to promote somewhere. And it sounds like you kind of have a vision. Would you prefer, and I would think this would be the right answer, to kind of screen most things, at least run things most by you in the chat? You're always in there. I mean, you'd be happy to answer it, just so that no one makes a move that they have good intentions but could actually backfire on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point because one of the things that I've gone through, obviously outside of Solana, because most people here know me, but is that if you haven't kind of been in that influencer seat, and by no means was my seat anything like these Solana guys. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm just going to ask you to mute your mic there, Clarence. But even at my level at the time, a lot of interactions that I thought I was having were interactions that were backhanded, were to actually try and sabotage me for someone else's gain. The nicest people that I met along the journey were usually the ones that burnt me the hardest, and so sometimes you feel like, hey, I'm reaching out to you because this and this, and you're saying it in a genuine way, and someone who would like this to stop taking attention away from what they're doing can use those weaknesses against it. You know what I mean? And so let's try and keep it as centralized as possible. I promise I'm open to ideas, and I'd love to hear them. But be careful because I'll tell you firsthand, being in the seat for all these years, and not that seat, but the seat of someone who has been an influencer a bit. Um, Most of the interactions that I've had, like most of the people don't even speak to me at all. They just say, okay, that's what he's doing. I appreciate it. I'm looking at it. It's when the personal interaction starts that my radar goes up. You know what I mean? And so be very careful with it because it may not have the effect that you intend.
Gotcha. No, good answer. I mean, I also, believe too that like not everyone has a vision. It sounds like you do. And to let you kind of execute on that vision the best you can makes the most sense to me. So just kind of running ideas, I guess, through the Telegram through you makes a lot of sense. Because even like picture like someone creating a meme, right? And one of the characters in the meme is not really aligned with, like, say there's no proof or evidence of whatever, of them with a history of any wrongdoing, but someone just has like a leaning one way or a bias, and they're posting that out there all over the place. It just, you know what I mean? It kind of can get muddy in that sense. So I don't know. I like the idea of like even having like a meme collection, a channel in the like a Telegram for that, of just collected approved memes,
Yeah, that's a great idea. And maybe what I do, because I find that a lot of people are finding the Telegram a little bit tough, like to navigate. So what I'm thinking is, I could make another section of the website with, whatever art we're using, and then just like the donation wallet and the marketing wallet are there, and just have like these are the pieces of art we're using, this is the shtick we're using, because there's a line that I don't want to cross, and it's a hateful partisan line.
yeah.
And I get that people are passionate about this cause, but there's a tinfoil hat aspect to this that I'm not interested in, because and maybe down the line you'll be proven right. I don't know, but for whatever reason, this has somehow become a partisan issue, which blows my fucking mind. So uh, I don't want to enter that territory, which is why I think you're right about having a kind of an area where you can pull images and memes and stuff, and then obviously submit them, and we can decide if they're good. But we don't want it to become messy, and I'm already seeing a bit of that right now, and
Yeah.
we've got to clamp down on it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I guess that would actually be, because this, obviously is hysterical, but the serious nature of it, that side of it, which like I can't think of many other memes that have that serious nature, like everything's on the table. Here, that could be the one Achilles heel. So I do think a section of approved, content to share, and of course, whatever people, you can't control people. They want to go rogue, they go rogue. But at least the people that are all about it and in it to win it, you know what I mean, are going to look to that, and they'd appreciate it. They'd appreciate having everything in like a one-stop shop where they can just pick up images and stuff to share. And the last thing before I mute, I did want to say too, like, people talking about like, being a part of it, didn't see an action, and it went up, and there's a big sell that you stepped in and made an awesome decision, a selfless decision to show the group how serious you were about it, and the run to the top, which I'm confident this thing is going to get bigger and bigger, but it's not going to be a linear path. It's not going to be a straight line up. I think most people know that, but there's going to be times where people are going to be doing big sale dumps and stuff like that. What's going to push us all through it is like the belief kind of in the vision and the understanding that that's going to occur. So like, you're, whatever reason you're kind of, made the decision to get into this, and remind yourself, I would just say to everybody at the different points along the way, why you did it, and the price as it's going up, and if it falls, if the things that initially made you kind of believe in this and want to buy into it, Chris, for example, his transparency, the community still positive and growing. Remind yourself of those things, the initial reasons you bought, and go out and touch some grass. Don't look at the chart, because it's not going to be a straight line up. I'll tell you that right now. And I think the people that end up with the fuck you money are the ones that, I mean, it's very hard to hold to 100x, like very hard. So keep that in mind. If you believe that can happen now, remind yourself of that. And I think that everyone in this space right here will be very happy that they did when this is all said and done.
Yeah, thank you for that. And that is something that, like, we've been on basically save for like a couple hours on 2 weeks of euphoria. You know what I mean? And that's the reality of it. I mean, this has basically gone straight up, and if it wasn't going up, it's been going sideways. And ultimately that's not quite how trading works. You know what I mean? So at some point this might return to some sort of mean. And my hope would be that it would happen in a slower way. But know that, like, I mean, the amount of tokens I gave away that day to save this thing, I mean, that's got to be worth what now? $35,000 or something. You know what I mean? And so, or $30,000. So, like, I am dead ass serious here, and under no circumstance am I going to stop pushing at all. So, but understand that, like, it at some point a dip's coming, and it's so easy to just launch into, oh, this is what I knew, it was a pump and dump. But I'm going to be here, and you can be mad if you want, but I will be. And because I could see it going a long, long way. Now, if it goes to $3 or something, listen, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do a big fat ass donation, never be seen again. It'll be a donation that'll blow your mind. But until then, I'm here for it, because I could see this as something we could package up and do again and again and again for other good causes. You know what I'm saying? So if I shatter the trust now and destroy all the goodwill, then that's it. I can never do it again. So that's the plan. Please, if someone has a request, go ahead. Irv Gotti, I think he's hitting the request button with his ass, because we tried him last time. So anyone else, by all means, go ahead. But that's the plan. It's a good point, Clarence. But there's such a great opportunity to do more great things than just this. It doesn't have to be this. Nars, go ahead. Sasquatch next. Go ahead, Nars.
Of like multiple channels, like one for the main chat, and then one for announcements, and then one for daily updates or whatever, etc. I'm not like a huge Telegram user, so I don't know how to do that, or if you can even do that now that this channel's already created, but that might be a way to organize all these things we've been talking about.
Oh, I didn't realize that, because I was a Discord guy.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, but this it seems like the game exists in Telegram with these bots, and the bots connected to the trending, and they use these bots like a scanner, so we have to be here. If I had my choice, though, I'd be on Discord. So I'll try and figure that out then. Thank you for letting me know. I just figured it's just one feed and that's it, So
Yeah, you can definitely make multiple channels, but like I said, I don't know if that was supposed to be done like on the initial setup of the channel or what. So you'd have to look into it.
I was like opening this channel and making this token. I was like a caveman with sticks. You know what I mean? I had no idea. It just was a good idea. And so we're all learning as we go. So thank you. And I will look into figuring out how to do that. I didn't even have rocks, just sticks, you know. So Sasquatch, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, firmly seated here.
Good to hear.
Just wanted to thank you for everything that you do for us, good sir. You are the commander in seat that we all needed here in crypto. Appreciate everyone that's donating to the marketing wallet, keeping this charge strong. My wife and I just had a little seated one this past week, and we're doing our best from the house to stay in touch with the Telegram group and keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on the chart, of course, and do our best to support you and the team. Just wanted to wish everyone well and let you guys know that Sasquatch is seated.
Well, thanks for having a seat, Sasquatch.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, and congratulations on the new baby. And you got my advice on the cuticle nippers for the fingernails?
I did, indeed. I think we actually have a pair of those.
Yeah,
So
that's how you got
we're
to do
lucky
it.
to be starting off on the right
That's
foot.
how you got to do it, because those
We're watching-
butterfly clippers on a baby's fingers, it splits the nail bed. So you use those cuticle nippers, do it from the side. That's everything. I don't know anything else. Like when my wife, she said, "What do you know?" And I said, "I don't know anything, but I got these cuticle nippers, and that was my contribution as a parent, you know." And I'd say it was pretty good to the infant stage. I'd say it was a pretty good one. You know what I mean? But sometimes she says,
every
"Could
little
you do
bit
more?
counts.
Could you have done more?" I don't know. It's over. You know, move on.
I think you did a fantastic job, sir.
Thank you. You know, let's not drag up the past. Congratulations. You're Huckleberry. You're Huckleberry. Go ahead.
Hey, is anybody home? Is anybody home? I brought these Zimas.
Sir, why don't you have
and
a
this
seat?
teddy bear.
Looks like you got
Just
some
right over
teddy
there?
bears there. Why don't you have a seat?
Just right over there? Okay.
Yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
Chris, I want to say one thing before I kind of ask a question, but I truly think if this continues the way that we hopefully all think it's going to continue, it's already been brought up, but that day that dump happened and the action that you took, just, I think that's one of those things that people are going to talk about down the line, you know, for a long time, because that was, nobody else does that. You don't see that. And I think that's just a piece in the puzzle of what is going to separate us and what has separated you from the other devs in the space. And I just want to thank you again. I guess my question is kind of around the quote unquote partnership portion of, you know, with the Operation Underground Railroad, because initially you had, you know, said partnership, and I get that we are partnering with them. Legally, you know, that can mean something totally different. Can you give any kind of just high level description on what they kind of said in terms of longer term, you know, down the road partnership with them? I mean, are you concerned that their legal is going to get involved? Does that concern you, you know, as an individual kind of running this coin? I guess the main question is, what was kind of the longer term conversation with them, or was there one? You know, or was it just, hey, we're really happy to have the money, let's keep it coming?
Yeah, you know, so the full depth of the conversation was basically like, you know, they said, we really appreciate this, and obviously they were the only ones to call me back, which we talked about.
Right.
And so, you know, their kind of thing was like, hey, you know, we really appreciate this. Is this something that you would be interested in doing for just us, or what? And I said, yeah, I think we might. I mean, because it's not like anyone else accepted my invitation. You know what I mean? And so as it stands, like, we're not an official arm of them, you know, and it's entirely possible that, you know, unless they put something forth that would request that, you know, we're not bound by it. But for the time being, I'm happy to keep working with them because they are out there knocking heads. They have had a change in leadership and are really trying to show the good that they do and kind of get away from the where people are judging the way they did business, which sometimes when you're dealing with something like this, instead of just waiting for a victim to come to you, you're not going to make everyone happy. You know what I mean? And so right now it's not as if Seat is their official partner, but for the time being, as long as they're willing to accept it from us, and as long as they're willing to let people know that this is what we're doing for them and their cause, then I'm with it. And so it's we're not legally bound in any way, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I think I kind of figured that. Knowing you from the past, I just kind of figured you had all your bases covered. If it was getting, a little more in depth, I figured it was going to be a much longer conversation. But that's great. Okay. Thanks.
No problem. AWWZ, please go ahead. Go ahead, AWWZ. I'm hearing some sounds.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if my mic had cut out or not.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, big fan of the project. Really love it what you're doing within the space of being like one of the devs who is making a point of showing that like it's not all just rug pulls and scammers. I think that's really cool. Like relatively new holder, I've learned about you guys like a week ago or so, and I thought like that's fucking genius. Love to be part of it. So I don't know if this has already been addressed before, but I was wondering if you guys have or already have or have plans to reach out to like the actual Chris Hansen, because I know that he's pretty big with like on YouTube, for example. He's worked with YouTubers who have similar shows to like To Catch a Predator, and he's been like really receptive and like open to talking to them and like helping them out. Just wanted to know if there's any plans to like reach out to him and make him aware of the project.
Yeah, so I have tried,
Okay.
and have not heard back, and obviously I don't feel as if this is something that would piss him off, because this is done with so much love for that guy. And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and growing up watching that guy, like roll in and slap down the transcripts, like he got every one of those bitches to sit down, every single one, and so I mean,
Yeah.
to me, he's just the best guy, and I love him and what he's done, and my greatest wish is that he would see my outreach and say, you know what, let's do this thing, and I would tap the community to make sure that he's compensated and appreciated, because I just love him so much. And I mean, he opened the door for all of this, all these guys that are doing predator videos at Catcher. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's the guy, and so I pray that he doesn't see this any other way than a thing that's just out of pure love for him and what he's done and continuing to do. But so
Yeah,
far,
no, absolutely.
so far I haven't heard back. But if he ever does tune in, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I will do whatever it takes to make this something that's attractive to him.
I mean, I feel like it like just based on what you've done so far, like I've granted, I don't know the guy, I've never met him, but like just seeing like his interactions with people who have kind of like taken up the mantle after like the original show got taken off the air. He's been like really receptive to like talking to them about it and like just really commending them on their effort, So I feel like if he saw this project, like when he sees this project, like he'll really appreciate it for what's being done and like the undertaking.
Yeah, and my heart skips a beat for just a second when I hear about him because I mean my gut no, my gut tells me just like you that he'd be really cool about it and that he's finally appreciating his legacy as like a key part of North American history. I mean, this guy's locked in forever, you
Yeah,
know, and
absolutely.
and so I mean there's always that potential that he goes, you know what, F you, but I just don't think so. But I
I
can't
don't think so either.
yeah, I can't discount the possibility of it, and I just pray that he hears this or hears me and hears me when I say this is done with out of this world respect for a guy that is just awesome to me. So, and I know he's had
Yeah.
his little blow ups with YouTubers, and his Kickstarter was kind of troubled. I mean, I don't care about any of that. I love that guy.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I mean, you say it perfectly. Like he's an icon pretty much. But yeah, I just wanted to know if you guys had plans on like when we reach like a certain market cap or like if you already had tried to reach out to him. But it sounds
I
like you've
have.
already answered that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. And the one thing that would make it not ideal is if people spammed him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
And
definitely.
and so, I've done it in a tasteful way and until he catches wind and wants to reach out, I don't want to make the guy's life a living hell of spam personally because I
Yeah.
I do have so much respect for him. So,
No, absolutely.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the question.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh my God, we're an hour in. Jeez Louise. My jaw's getting tired. My vocal cord. What I'm saying is my vocal cords are getting tired. Okay? Okay, detective?
What was that, hon?
No questions. Anyway, listen. I've been staring at a telegram, getting assaulted by all of Beijing for the last 2 weeks. Okay, I don't say everything perfectly. Excuse me. Jeez Louise. Anyone else? Anything on their mind? Put a hand up. I got the whole Sichuan province on my ass. Whew. My goodness. Simaj, let's do it. Let me know if I said it wrong as well. Go ahead. You're
Yeah,
up.
can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, man, that was just funny. I just wanted to say that was funny, but hey, I've been in crypto for like a little bit, and I've been in a lot of like shitty group chats and bad communities, and this has been great. It's been like a couple weeks, and keep it up, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, I want to keep it clean and I want to keep it respectful. And most of all, I want the information to be clear for people. And I want people to know how much I appreciate their trust in this because this is a massive trust fall. I understand it. So thank you for the compliment. It means a lot to me because I do put a lot into keeping that telegram clean. And it is agony sometimes. So thank you. Anyone else have anything on their mind? Maybe we'll do one more and wrap it, or zero more if no one has anything else. But then we'll wrap it. This has been phenomenal, and it's also exciting. Here we are floating around 2 mil. Now I'm ready to put up some more funds for donation, and hopefully the people that were hesitant the first time can know that this is serious business and that we can I can understand the first time they're like, okay, this guy's going to run away with the wallet or whatever. I get it. But now that we did it, can we step up this time from people who didn't last time? I guess that'll be the test, but I certainly will be again. So that's what we'll do. And I'm looking forward to continuing to bang the drum. I am working on some new ideas for content, and like I said, more than anything, you know, I hope that the real Chris knows that this is because we love him so much. I mean, I could watch clips of that guy do that for the rest of my life, you know, and so hopefully he'll be on board at some point. But until then, we're gonna keep rocking in his honor and doing the right thing by people who really need it. And that's the biggest thing for me is like I don't forget. Like there are people right now in living somewhere doing things that they're forced to do, and you know, so it's a horror, and it could be any one of our children, you know what I mean? And it's a total nightmare. And so if we can run this up and have some laughs and whatever, and always keep that in mind, then we can keep going. So that's what I want to do, but I don't forget about it, and nor should you. All right, good evening and goodbye. We'll see you in the Telegram. We'll bring the heat. 2 mil, let's do it today. What do you say? Good night.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.